Today's intensive health focus is body, but you may call it body, mind, and DNA. Why? Because most people think that body and mind are two separate entities, two different things. And of course, they sometimes look like, depends what you take the mind as, and of course, the DNA. DNA, although it's present in each of our cell, it's very much a physical stuff and is present in every square millimeter or micrometer of our body. But still, it could be called as a separate thing. The reason being that the DNA existed even before our body came into existence in the form of our parental DNA, and the DNA might continue to exist even our body after our body is gone in the form of our children and grandchildren, etc. So the DNA continues. Uh, although the exact DNA will not continue, because your DNA is the mix of your mother's and father's DNA, and likewise the DNA of your children is the mix of you and your wife's DNA. So it won't be the exactly same DNA continuing, but largely most of it would continue. It existed and it will continue to exist, bearing a little modification, little change that happened inside you. So that way we can consider the DNA being a separate entity. Likewise, mind also. Some people like to call it consciousness, and then people take it like this, that the consciousness existed before you came into existence, and you picked up thoughts of many people, information from many sources, and those thoughts and information became your consciousness, and your thoughts and information, whatever you gave a new shape to them, they might continue to exist even after you are dead. Maybe you have spoken and those spoken word may remain, and you have written something, that written stuff might remain. But I think that may not be exactly your mind. It could be more of a kind of information, not exactly how you were feeling with that stuff, and the different people may feel very differently with that stuff. So it all depends how you take it. To me, it looks like body and mind are inseparable. They are one entity. So we can actually think that everything is the body. Our DNA is our body is our body, and the mind is also body or a part of it, or you can better even sometime relate with the brain stuff, the physical thing. The important point is this: how you treat your body. What is your body for you? There are two ways of looking at it. Some people consider the body being their resource, their tool, a wonderful tool through which they could do the things. And to some people, their body is their existence. So this needs to be looked into, that what body actually is, whether it's a resource, it's a tool, or it's the existence itself. If it is a tool or a resource, like most of us are using, most of us are actually using our body as a transportation for our mind, so that you could perform the things what you like to do. And in that case, it's of secondary existence. It's a tool. It's like a human resource. Considering humans as a resource would be putting them in a second grade, that they are for something. Their existence is not primary. So when we take anything as a tool or as an existence, as a tool or as a resource, then we actually downgrade their existence. We put them in a secondary existential form. So this needs to be understood, that whether the body is existential or is the resource. If it is a resource, then we want to maybe keep it in such a way that it performs better, Like if you are an athlete, you will like to have the body in a high performance fitness. Or if you are a film star, then you would like to have your body look very good. Doesn't matter whether physically it's high performing or not, but the looks would be good. Or sometime you may not pay any attention to your body unless your body is sick, and you actually pay attention to your body when you are hospitalized, you are in intensive care unit, or you are not able to perform your normal task. Only that point of time you take care of body. In all such situation, actually you are treating your body as a tool, as a resource.